I recorded on my end.
Oh, good. Nah. I could sync it up then.
Sing it up. Sing it up. Sing it up. Sing it up.
Yep. Here we go.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at namely90s. You can also find us on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And finally, if you'd like to support our show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s. Also with the 90s and get signed up for one of our support levels. Ooh, there it is. I'm an old pro at that by now.
Yeah. Well, you just like wake up in the middle of the night and say that, like, in panic if you don't do it every week.
Yes. In the bedroom, but different. No, just kidding. Boy. So here we are. What's new? I've been watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Very exciting.
I was excited that someone came into the winery today and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing some wine tasting. We're watching the playoffs, and they had their little phone out on a little kickstand. And I was like,
fair. I mean, I've been watching it. It is on, by the way.
They were watching the NBA playoffs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's lame. The NHL currently is broadcast on ESPN, TBS, TNT, True TV, Max, and ABC.
Oh, wow.
And ESPN2.
So, wow. The Ocho.
It's like they just don't know where to put it, so they just put on whatever channel is showing the least interesting thing at that time. But the other day, it was on ABC.
Do they have the same parent companies?
Yeah, Disney.
Max, though?
Apparently. Oh. Or they've struck a deal with Max. But it's just like, it's like your head will spin. It's on so many different channels. And I'm like, put on TBS, and it's like, you're watching the playoffs on TNT, which is not the same as, by the way, there is like the TNT broadcast team, which is the old NBC Sports broadcast team for the most part. Mm-hmm. And they have some TNT games, which are also broadcast on TBS sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing.
What?
I know they're not all the same company. You make a good point. They're not. TBS, TNT are their own thing, and True TV. So that's like one group.
Right.
And then ESPN
is Disney, ABC.
ABC, Max, Disney Plus, Hulu.
I do not think Max is a part of Disney.
You're right.
That's HBO.
Hulu, Disney Plus.
Yeah, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN.
I don't know how together. Max is involved in all that then. Because Max doesn't own TBS.
Correct.
It's
correct.
Very incestuous and confusing, but it's like there's so many different channels. Anyway, it's been exciting. So round 2 starts tomorrow.
Nice. And the Kraken have made it not far at all.
No, the Krakens did not qualify for the playoffs this year.
That's what I
They fired their head coach, the Stanley Cup winning coach that they hired for one season. They fired. So we're gonna see where that goes. Yeah, there you go. So hockey.
While you're wearing a Kraken shirt.
Yeah, I mean they suck, but it's still our local team, and also our local play-by-play guy John Forsland also does play-by-play on TNT or TBS.
Nice. Speaking of local teams, dude, the Mariners trounced the Rangers the other night. And
Hashtag trounced.
Like I wasn't watching it. I just saw like my phone has like live updates in the top bar now, and it's just like 13-0 Seattle Mariners, and in the bottom of top of the 9th, and then they scored like 2 more runs. And I was like, what?
Remember that time last year when they were 10 games ahead, though?
Good point. It is before the All-Star break.
Yeah. And people were so scared because they started at 3-7. They're like, here we go again. Mm-hmm. And it's looking better. It's looking a little better.
Is it? Yeah. Also, we're recording this the day before it drops. So may the 4th be with you, Andrew.
Yes, and also with you. Wait.
We didn't do that bit in the intro.
Let's see. Speaking of, and also with you, did we see that Donald Trump posted a picture of himself, AI generated, as the Pope on the White House social media?
That's where I was also going, because today they posted something to the extent of happy Star Wars Day to everyone out there who celebrates, especially or even the crazy liberal fanatics who are trying to bring in Sith Lords, blah, blah, blah. You're not the rebellion, you're the Empire. And then they post a picture, and then another AI picture of Donald Trump with a red lightsaber, and like as like the one of the Sith Lords.
Yeah, like, very much they are the Empire without any question.
I mean, we've done Trump or Palpatine at least twice on this show, and
true.
It's scarily even more accurate now than when we did it the previous 2 times.
I mean, just to post a picture of yourself as the Pope is so horrifyingly offensive. It's beyond.
And it's not that like he didn't post it himself, or it's not that someone the MAGA community posted it. This is the official White House Twitter
this will go
account.
into the archives. This goes into like the Library of Congress. I
mean, they've deleted it for DEI purposes at this point, I'm assuming. But legally, these are there should be copies of
this. Is
everything.
Part of the public record.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Healthy.
Yeah.
What else is new? Star Wars, other things.
Andor's back. It's did you already do the and or what joke?
I was doing the and/or.
Yeah.
No, I do the who, what, when, and why wolf, as well as the werewolf.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Andor was like the breakout hit of the Star Wars TV series a year or 2 ago. They only get 2 seasons, and it's like the lead up to Rogue One. But it's because it's like an actual like drama, and it's not like all shot on the volume, and they actually put care into this show, whereas the other ones
they
are like
tried.
Yeah, it's and to be fair, when you're not like following around a jetpack boosting gunslinger or someone with a bunch of lightsabers, it's easier on the budget to go bigger on elsewhere.
Fair enough.
But it's back. It's halfway through. They're releasing 3 episodes per week right now, because each 3 episodes is like a year leading up to the end of the show / Rogue One, where it starts or ends. Anyway,
it reminds me. I was watching. So I was reading an article that probably wasn't even true, but about how like the whole 22, 23 like episode cinematic network TV show is dead because
pretty much
it's too expensive. But they used to make them like movies. I mean, they were shot very well, and then they got into this newer style where it's like kind of junky, like it's not very cinematically interesting to look at on network TV. And then you've got your streaming shows, which are expensive, but then like they have that problem of taking 4 effing years between seasons, which like, we want to wait for good quality, but how did they even crank out 22 good quality episodes of a thing in a year? Well, it's just crazy. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah. And it was also like, I mean, there were filler episodes, let's be honest, but you're right. Like production wise, it looked good. It was a weekly job back then, or daily job back then. Whereas it's like,
sure.
Now it's like, oh, you get 3 months to shoot this.
Yep. And, but you look at of course, I go back to my favorite shows. You look back at House, and it just looks great. And you look back at 24. They're just shot well. And now it's like this ultra high def, like 8K, but it kind of makes everyone move in a way that sort of seems unnatural. And it's just, and then the music's too damn loud, but it's because of the thing where like it optimizes it for surround sound. But if you don't have it, then the music is too loud. But I don't know how to turn that off because half the streaming platforms don't let you. So it's just there was a sweet spot, and I believe the sweet spot was in like 2008.
Huh.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Back when we were kids.
Yes.
Get off my porch. Speaking of cinematic quality, I saw the latest Marvel movie called The Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah. How was that?
It is actually quite good. It's probably the best Avengers or Marvel movie since Guardians 3.
It's store brand Avengers, essentially.
You're not
but
wrong.
Store brand is almost as good as the real brand. They're usually made in the same factory.
Yeah. It's Thunderbolts asterisk for a reason. And I won't spoil that reason right now. Cause I actually joked about, there's a twist at the end. People who will see it will know. Do enough people listen to the show that I would spoil it if I said it right now? Who knows? But I'll tell you after. But it is
funny. People are outraged. Apparently, allegedly, according to the internet, people are outraged that Robert Downey Jr. is playing like a different character in the Marvel universe, and it's like I don't know how to respond to that. It doesn't
one. We're in the multiverse saga, so he's probably coming back as a different version of his previous character that is playing Doctor Doom, or that becomes Doctor Doom. And two, just wait until it comes out, and then you can say it's crap.
Yeah, and my presumption is he doesn't play an entirely separate character that's unrelated. Let's use our brains a little bit here, folks. Anyway. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a Tony Stark character that then turns into Doctor Doom.
Completely different character. Yeah. Unrelated. Could have been cast. Anyone could have been cast.
Sure.
Nope. Yeah. Just nobody. It's just not the same person at all. Nope.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Clearly no plan. No plan at all.
Yeah.
Wow. We cleared chit chat.
We did. Yay.
Speaking of nerdy comic book movies, we're just keeping on that boot or reboot train until we hit the end with our 5-year anniversary special. This week, this episode came to me while I was actually watching the trailers for ahead of watching Thunderbolts this week. And by the way, Florence Pugh killed it in that movie. Anyway, let's see. And we're going to be doing a boot or reboot on 90s Superman versus modern day Superman.
Aha.
Yes. No spoilers. Should we just get on with the first trailer?
Let's do it. I mean, we have watched this show on this podcast before.
Yes.
What was that guy's name?
Dean
Belschnickel.
What? Oh,
no,
Mr. Mixapidlick.
Mixapidlick, yeah. Thing. It was Howie Mandel, right?
It was Howie Mandel before he shaved his head, I think.
Mixapidlick. Why'd I go? Belschnickel. That would be Dwight's thing.
Yes, for Belschnickel, who was he like the underling of Krampus?
He was like a Christmas thing, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's a trailer for Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
If you haven't seen Lois and Clark, you don't know what you're missing. Superman. Lois and Clark gets 4 stars and is a real winner, says the Mercury News.
Sorry, this quality's
Find
terrible.
out why Liz Smith is calling Lois and Clark adorable and sexy. Does Superman have telepathic powers?
I hope not.
Dean Cain is the breakout hunk of the new fall season. He puts other reigning He-Men to shame.
I'll be
He-Men. Reigning He-Man.
Lois and Clark, tonight at 8, 7 Central.
I mean, clearly that was recorded on VHS and then ported over.
That's what TV looked like in the 90s? Yep. It looks worse than it looked in the 70s. What was that?
Well,
granted, it was like a recording. They had it like on the wrong speed, recording speed or whatever. Someone's mom did that.
And it was definitely like local television announcer, not the in a world.
It's like after the 6:30 news. Join us for Lois and Clark.
So Lois and Clark, New Adventure of Superman. Do you want to do this after? Or do you want to do the second trailer?
The New Adventures joke. Nothing worse. Why is the New Adventures always something from the 90s?
the Lois and Clark, the new adventures of old Christine. Yeah.
And just like that.
So
and you will do it now.
So Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman. It's a American superhero television series based on the DC Comics character Superman. Stars Dean Cain as Clark Kent / Superman and Terry Hatcher as Lois Lane. It aired on ABC from September of 93 to June of 97.
This is where you would have, if you were still doing the Namely 90s Minute, you would have said, this is where Ripley's Believe It or Not stars as Clark Kent.
Exactly. I think I did actually do that.
And Desperate Housewives as Lois Lane.
That is exactly. See, Andrew didn't actually watch our Namely 90s Minutes.
I watched some of them.
That is exactly what I did for that episode. So the series focuses on the relationship and romance between Lois and Clark as much as the adventures of Clark's alter ego Superman.
And they explore the West and discover all sorts of interesting areas and places whilst befriending the Native Americans. Wait.
Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Sacagawea. Lois and Clark. Gotcha. Yes. The synopsis for the show on May 17th, 1966, Jonathan and Martha Kent witnessed a crash landing of a small spaceship in Schuster's Field outside of Smallville, Kansas. This is actually just basic Superman lore.
Oh, that's why it's called Smallville. I never knew that.
What?
So this is a large city?
Well, no. The series opens 27 years later on the day Clark moves to Metropolis after leaving his position as a newspaper editor of Smallville Press and interviews for a job at the Daily Planet. He meets Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Cat Grant, yada yada yada, Lois Lane.
Is his middle name Jeremy or Jerome?
Jimmy Olsen? What?
No, Clark Kent.
Oh,
Clark
Jerome Kent. I did not know that. It must be the grandfather. Jonathan's grandfather. Jonathan's father. His
Metropolis is a much more vibrant place than Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, the first season kind of deals with him going against the illegal dealings of Lex Luthor, who also becomes infatuated with Lois Lane, yada, yada, yada. It was a second in its time slot in the fall behind Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote was still airing new episodes in prime time when this show aired. And it scored high with adults aged 18 to 49, the key demographic for which advertisers pay a premium, but finished at number 65 out of 32 in the primetime programs, which doesn't make sense. But ABC considered it an overall disappointing performance, but they approved a full second season in the hopes the changes would be made to the production staff and yield an increase in ratings.
But did it though? It was on for what, 4 years?
Yeah, I think the high was like, let's see, season. It didn't improve that much. It was honestly, 4 seasons, but the first 3 seasons. It wasn't very
good. Like, it's sort of sentimental and part of my childhood, but it wasn't good.
Yes, that is very true. The first 3 seasons kept that like 18 million viewership number, but and it got to number 44 on the Nielsen rating. It
was like a little bit too, I don't know if the right word is like camp.
Corny. Oh yeah,
it's just the whole time.
That is exactly the word.
It didn't take itself seriously enough.
True, and like the wire work, like were you watching that? He was like blowing a piece of paper, and it's like there's clearly a string. And then it's okay. It's 4 seasons. Did I say 5? 4 seasons.
4 seasons landscaping. Time to call a press conference.
So that's, but it, as you said before, it is nostalgic for you. You used to watch that. Your parents used to watch that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I did like the bottom of the synopsis. Superman's mission interferes with the illegal dealings of Lex Luthor, a Metropolis business giant and philanthropist. Superman alone knows Lex's evil nature, and Luthor perceives Superman as a worthy opponent, and a relief from his ennui.
business giant, illegal dealings, business giant, philanthropist. That pretty much pegged every rich person in the United States.
That's a good point. And John Shea played Lex Luthor. Yeah. So that was our 90s live action Superman. That we didn't have a movie in the 90s for Superman, unfortunately.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
We got this.
Because I think the last one was the 80s Superman for the Quest for Peace.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, this had 4 seasons. It's a before and after.
But now let's watch the trailer for Superman 2025.
Is that the polar ice cap melting? No.
In real time.
Is this Smallville, Kansas?
Yes. This is when he becomes a baby and gets picked up by his mom and pa.
Oh, is he made of wax? Is he an action figure? What is that? Oh, the snow is making him look shiny.
Yeah. So this,
he has like the broccoli haircut that everyone has now.
I know, right? I'm like, I don't see my hairstyle.
You know what's
anywhere.
the most unrealistic about this? That he's going to work at a print newspaper.
That is true. I wonder if they've adjusted that to. It looks like a news outlet.
Yeah, it could be like a cable news network type of thing. Is this the Top Gun music?
So it's definitely like a power ballad or like a power ballad version of the original John Williams Superman.
Oh, there it
theme.
is.
Yeah.
I didn't know John Williams in Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like his weenie whistle impression?
It was pretty close.
Is Epona the horse coming? What is that?
Kind of looks like it. I've seen this a few times.
I'm just gonna keep making a bunch of references.
Please do.
That dog is total CG. Come on now.
Take me home.
Is it not CG, by the way?
It has to. That has to be a CG dog.
That
right?
was not a real dog.
In the longer
know.
cut of that scene.
Oh, I thought that was the guy who played the mummy for a minute.
No,
At
that's
first bald glance.
I think he's. See, my one nitpick about this is that when he gets hit in the head, he flinches.
Yeah.
Some guy
Isn't
throws
he
a
made
can
of
at
steel?
him. Yeah.
It's Chinese steel.
Yeah. No, I think he played like an X-Man. Lex Luthor character. Not gonna lie, the music helps.
It helped?
It helped. Did you not feel like it's Top Gun mixed with John Williams?
I mean, it did feel like that, yeah.
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 That's a trailer for Superman 2025, which is coming out this July 11th, which somehow makes it past our podcast. And it's an upcoming superhero film based on the eponymous character from DC Comics. It stars so first it's written and directed by James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy and Peacemaker. It stars David Cornucopia. Not gonna help me on that one.
Is he
As
British, Australian?
I believe he's British. As Clark Kent / Superman alongside Rachel Brosnahan as
Pierce
Lois.
Brosnan.
Pierce
plays
Brosnan
the
as
female
Lois
love
Lane.
interest.
Nicholas Hoult plays Lex Luthor. Edie Gathegi as I think he plays Mr. Terrific. Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion plays one of the Green Lanterns.
Nathan Fillion, he's somehow
Guy
famous.
Gardner. He's from
I know.
Yeah, okay.
The Rookie? Yes.
Which is going into like season
Castle.
8 right now.
Yeah, what is with that guy and making shows that go on forever?
Right? Except for Firefly.
Yeah, the one show that probably we wish had gone.
Right? Yeah, let's see. Anthony Kerrigan plays. Ooh, who is he playing? What?
Any relation to Nancy Kerrigan?
I don't.
Spelled differently. I know. I'm just kidding.
Is it spelled differently? I didn't know. Oh, he plays Metamorpho. Yeah. And Isabel Merced, who plays Hawk Girl.
Okay.
Spit on that thing. Are we too old? Dude, Hawk to a girl. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway,
I hope she shows up in GTA 6, by the way. Since they have more time.
Yeah. Oh,
since they have more time to make pop culture references.
Yeah. At least they do it well. Let's see. So originally it was titled as Superman Legacy, I think. It's the first film of the new DCU, which apparently everything needs like phases and chapters now because it's called Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters.
It's called How Can We Squeeze Every Last Drop Out of This Thing?
Yeah.
In case they get a hit, so they can make 27 different series on streaming.
Pretty much. They have been hitting it hard with the streaming. I think there was like, they said the second season of Peacemaker is coming out, and it's in this phase or chapter of DCU. There is like a television series right now. Creature Commanders, I think, is out. Have you seen that on Max? I don't have Max right now.
I don't know of that.
Oh, sorry, Creature Commandos.
But this is not really in my wheelhouse.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay.
I got nothing else I can tell you.
So that's the thing we'll watch.
Yep. Gun to your head. Which one would you rather watch?
Ooh.
And I'm not going to make you watch the entirety of Lois and Clark: New Adventures of Superman in like one sitting. Like, we'd pick a good episode or two.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The newer one looked better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Great
I didn't care. I didn't care. I had no interest in learning more about the story, about the characters.
It's Superman.
The characters kind of didn't look right. I don't know if the casting is exactly on point, in my opinion.
The hair.
And I think they were like possibly writing a check they can't cash with that music. So I think I'm going to watch not the original, but the New Adventures of.
Okay.
Lois, Merriweather, and Clark. No, Merriweather Lewis, sorry. And
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable. Yes.
All right. Good choice. Good choice. I mean, I haven't seen that many episodes of Lois and Clark personally, so I don't have the connection to it that you do. I might actually go see this in theaters, just because of the footage I've seen so far. It looks promising. Not enough that I'm going to like dive into DCU. Apparently there's already crossover characters from Creature Commandos in the Superman movie. And it's like, I'm not going to purchase HBO Max before July, man.
No, although the Stanley Cup playoffs will still be going on in July, and you can watch 1/7 of the games that are being broadcast.
Also, the next two movies, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow comes out next year, and that's the second movie in this chapter of the DCU, and Clayface in September.
Sometimes it feels like they're just trying too hard.
Yeah. Yep.
And like you talk about those things, and I just like
glaze over instantly.
I just glaze. I know I don't like these sorts of movies, but I think the American public is starting to glaze over a little bit.
I think I'm again going to recommend Thunderbolts just because it's like it's a good look at depression.
The bar is so high now.
Yes.
I think that's the problem.
True, and it like honestly it doesn't beat a lot of the phase or like the earlier MCU movies, but since Infinity War, it's probably top 5.
You might want to extend.
That's a good point. I shall do that.
But there you go. That was this week's Boot or Reboot. You're listening to Namely Boots or Reboots.
Yep. That's season 4.
What if we did? What we should do is do a boot or reboot of our different seasons at the very end. It's our last episode.
Okay.
By the way, this show is ending in like 3 episodes.
3 episodes. Send in your memorials now to namely90s.
Because we are doing a definite. Is it Jonestown? We are drinking the Kool-Aid and we are done.
Yes. You'll never see us again. We'll be dead.
Correct. Yeah. Or were we trying to hitch a ride on a comet or something?
We will ascend to the heavens and ride out Haley Bop's comet.
Bop's comet? Haley Joel Osment's comet?
Haley Joel Osment's Bop comet.
All right. And now let's take a quick break. And now back to the show.
All right. We have 2 different BuzzFeed quizzes to choose from today, Andrew. One is, what would you do if you were Superman? It's a morality quiz.
By Sam Weiner.
Yes, of BuzzFeed fame. And then, or we could take the CW's sponsored quiz. Are you the Superman or the Lois Lane in the relationship? And that one's based off of Superman and Lois.
I'm afraid if I get Lois Lane that the administration will deport me to El Salvador for being trans.
Yes.
Remember when there was that politician named Anthony Weiner who got in trouble for sending dick pics?
It writes itself. It writes itself.
I don't know. Let's do a morality quiz.
Okay. Clearly you want the wiener.
We've got a wiener.
So we'll leave this link in the description below, and you can take it along with us if you'd like. Tell us what you got if you're more morally just than we are. This is called the Ultimate Superman Moral Decision Making Quiz. Man of Steel makes a lot of decisions. Imagine you're Superman. You have limitless power, but there's still only so much time in the day. These are the moral choices you must make. Number 1, stop rampaging robots or save an old man. In downtown Metropolis, a squadron of evil robots is robbing a bank. If you don't stop them immediately, they'll tunnel into the earth and escape. On the other side of town, a 90-year-old man is choking on a jelly bean. If you don't rush to his assisted living facility and give him the Heimlich, he will die.
Well, this is
dark.
What
do? We could course correct and do the other quiz.
No. Well, first of all, I like how Superman being the good guy means protecting capitalism and banks.
The truth, justice, and the American way.
There's no life at stake.
Mm-hmm.
However,
especially they are FDIC insured.
However, yeah, for what that's worth. And then there's a 90-year-old man, which, I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty full life.
Mm-hmm. And he's living at an assisted living facility.
But
so
I think
the quality of life there.
The bank is FDIC insured and is a for-profit entity and down with capitalism, I'm going with save the old man.
Yeah, eat the rich. I'm going to go with save the old man as well.
The old man is actually a serial killer who's been let out of prison.
Which is even funnier because Superman could fly to that side of town, give him a super Heimlich, and then fly back to the other side of town in time, I would assume.
True.
Oh, this isn't the kind of quiz I thought it was.
This one seems easy, though. Number 2, disarm a mugger or save a Malaysian orphanage.
What?
Right outside the Daily Planet, a mugger is stealing Lois Lane's purse. You can either stop him or fly to Malaysia, where a fire at an orphanage will claim the lives of 7 orphans whom you'd never even meet otherwise. Good God.
Also, I'd like to point out that 61% in the last one decided to stop the robots.
True. What do? Help Lois or fly to Malaysia?
I mean, obviously Lois Lane has something incriminating in her purse because we're dating, because I'm Superman. So I think I'll have to grab her purse.
I'm flying to Malaysia and I'm going to check out the cuisine while I'm there, I guess. 86 said fly to Malaysia because the 86% of people aren't monsters.
Yeah, but me and 1,821 people would have helped Lois. I mean, you're right there. It's the ease of access. 3, save Smallville or stop financial malfeasance. Smallville, as you might remember, is his home. Perry White gives you a hot tip. Lex Luthor is planning to unleash his earthquake machine. His target, Smallville. At the exact same moment, the board of directors at the Bank of Metropolis approve a risky plan to leverage toxic real estate assets. When it fails, it could destroy the economy and leave thousands homeless. What do you do? Save Smallville from Luthor's earthquake machine or stop Wall Street negligence from destroying the American dream?
Do we know the population of Smallville?
I believe it's in the low 1,000 or 10,000s.
Well, I figure a lot of single story buildings, most of the residential is going to be wood framed, so I think is less risky in the event of an earthquake. Also, Kansas isn't really in a hotbed for earthquakes, but I suppose if he's using his earthquake machine, that could cause some problems. And I feel like most of the buildings are going to be pretty low to the ground, and the downtown areas of these small towns have sort of evaporated. There's not much industry there. So I'm going to say I'm going to just ignore Smallville's earthquake, which will cause a little bit of property damage, and stop Wall Street negligence from destroying the American dream.
Final answer, because Smallville's population, according to the TV series Smallville, is 45,001.
That's not a small town.
No.
That's like half the size of Bellingham.
Yeah, I mean, small town.
That's okay. The next one.
Wait. I did not. I mean, feel like that's some overreach there. It's slightly smaller than San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
Let's see.
What would you do? I mean,
it says it could destroy the economy and leave thousands homeless. Lex Luthor is going to unleash his earthquake machine, so I'm going to go stop that.
Okay. Next one. Protect the Eiffel Tower or raise the minimum wage. Darkseid, the cunning alien ruler of the Greek planet Apocalypse, is threatening to destroy the Eiffel Tower. Meanwhile, a march in support of a bill to raise the minimum wage is happening in Metropolis's suicide slum. Star 988. If Superman shows up, his support will guarantee the measure passes. What?
They defunded that.
Oh.
Trump.
Well, in that case, then never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
There is the Canadian hotline has been. They've given us an American number, toll-free American number.
Not going to finish that sentence. You know where I was going with that. What do you do? Do you protect the icon of French culture or support the working class?
Okay. I will support the proletariat because, again, the way it's written, Darkseid's only threatening to destroy the Eiffel Tower. He's not going to.
Fair. I'm also going to support the working class because once the Eiffel Tower was no longer needed, the people of France wanted to take it down. It was actually meant to be a temporary structure, and they just decided to keep it.
World's Fair. Plus, I mean, if they destroy the Eiffel Tower, like Darkseid's an alien, he's going to destroy it in a way that's not going to like kill a bunch of people.
Plus, then you don't have
except for the tourists.
Anything to. You don't have that sexual position that Sabrina Carpenter emulated on stage.
What?
You didn't hear about this?
I did not hear about that last part.
She emulated the Eiffel Tower on stage.
Wow.
Also, by the way, someone was joking about like being different parts of the tower, and I was like, and then someone said something to suggest they'd want to be the middle, and I was like, oh, so you want to be the observation deck? I gotta laugh.
That's pretty good. Sorry. So anytime Sabrina Carpenter comes up for me, it's like she's a child. She's still like the child from Girls Meets World. So like that is wild.
Yeah.
Even though that came out like what 10 years ago at this point.
To be fair, I think it was like with two of the male backup dancers. So I'll just let you read into that what you want to read into it.
Another orphanage fire, you say?
Another one? No.
Remember that Malaysian orphanage fire from question 2? At the same time, a different Malaysian orphanage also caught on fire, but you were unaware and could do nothing. What do you do? Try to move on and remember that even you, Superman, cannot save everyone. Question whether individual acts of heroism are enough to enact real change.
I like this guy. Sam Wiener.
Andrew,
I want to say it's time to move on. Move on.
Yeah, you can't save everyone.
It's all part of God's plan.
That's
Donald Trump's plan.
That's a theme of good God. I'll go with that as well.
All right. Oops, I lost it.
Number 6.
Save a fallen construction worker or fundamentally alter our nation's healthcare system. A construction worker is falling off a skyscraper to their certain death. Assuming this happens once per day and you fly by and scoop up every falling construction worker, you'll save 365 people per year. Meanwhile, inadequate access to healthcare kills 45,000 people per year in America. What do? Do you save one person or save thousands by demanding that elected officials overhaul the nation's healthcare system?
I thought the second choice would be murder a healthcare CEO in cold blood. That's a Luigi Mangione. Thank you.
Yes.
I think I'll save healthcare or something.
To be fair, maybe go fix healthcare, but also maybe file a complaint with L&I with this construction company.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I mean, a lot of these Superman choices are overreach. That's he
can't
not
make
a god.
Congress behave. But
yeah,
okay.
Number 7, save a cat, save a friend, cure cancer. Your cat is stuck in a tree. Jimmy Olsen got turned into a gorilla again. Or your good friend Ray Palmer, the smartest man in the world, is busy working on a shrink ray instead of curing cancer. What do? Save the cat, de-transmogrify Jimmy, or talk to Ray about using his genius in a less flashy but still heroic way.
Save the cat.
I mean, I think I'll de-transmogrify Jimmy if I have that power.
Does this ever end? Oh my gosh.
I think there should only be 10 questions.
Destroy Doomsday or run for office? Brainiac is plotting to revive the rampaging alien clone Doomsday. You can infiltrate Brainiac's living spaceship and destroy the still gestating monster. But will that fix Metropolis's crumbling public schools? You could run for school board president, provide an influx of Kryptonian technology, and offer a brighter future for generations of students. I think you might be prosecuted if you destroyed the still gestating monster. Boy, I can't talk. Anyway, what do? Do you fly into space and kill a monster, thus saving the world? But soon you'll be called on to defeat another monstrous threat, and then another, then another. The cycle may never end, or create a long-term political solution to an ever-worsening problem.
I think I will affect change where I can and go into space and destroy a monster.
I'm going to kill the monster too, because I feel like becoming a school board president is not going to affect any long-term meaningful change. And most of America or the world agreed with us.
Yeah. Number 9, put out yet another orphanage fire with your breath or declare yourself a leader for life. Yes, there's yet another Malaysian orphanage fire. Is this a ploy by the villainous Metallo? I've never been able to say his name correctly. No, it's just a sad state of the world. You could use your freeze breath to put out the fire, but you could also declare yourself the forever sovereign of Malaysia and root out the structural problems that are causing both the fires and the large number of children to become parentless in the first place.
Jesus. Trigger warning.
What do? Save yet another orphanage, but get no closer to creating any lasting solutions, or install yourself as dictator, thereby saving many, but robbing them of the right to rule themselves.
Can Superman use his influence to tell Sam Wiener that sentences don't start with but?
True.
I'm going to save the orphanage. Installing yourself as a dictator with even with positive intentions is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
I don't think he had positive intentions.
Confront the unknown or shield. Oh, did you choose yet?
I went with save the orphanage as well. 69%.
Confront the unknown or shield your mind from the harsh truths of existence. Like all mortal beings, you will one day die. What do? Attempt to find meaning in your actions? Perhaps you hope to create a legacy that influences the world even after your death, or don't think about it.
I like how that's Dean Cain on the... I'm going to go Dean Cain. Don't think about it.
Yep. And we were not agreed with by most of the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed this the moment we started this. This isn't like a quiz that'll give you a personality thing at the end, but yeah. Did you agree with our decisions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did because I'm us.
Oh, they're not canceling all of 988, just the services for LGBTQ youth through the 988 crisis line.
Gotcha. That's correct. I did forget about that part.
Well, that's bad. That's fine then. No.
Wow. Yeah. No. It's not gonna. It's what is wrong? Why?
I mean, if only we could have known that RFK Jr. was going to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just one question from the Lois and Clark or Superman or Lois relationship quiz.
All right.
What would you most likely get your partner on their birthday? Something practical they need or something thoughtful they want?
Ooh, neither.
And that's our show. That's this week's episode, Namely 90s. That's this week's edition, Namely 90s, where you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with the 90s. And tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. I swear I'll get the YouTube uploaded this week. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with 90s. And finally, you can also contact us through our website, Namely90s.com. And if you have any final messages of bon voyage for us, send it to namely90s@gmail.com. And you can contact us through our website, namely90s.com. I think I said that one already. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Krypton, Pocket Cast, CastBox, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew. And we will catch you with 2 episodes left next time. Well, 3 episodes left next time.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.